Which leads me into my second type of licensed movies, stuttering a bit, are the ones based off of books or any sort of actual licensed media that follows it almost to a T, with the exception of cutting out certain parts, like in Lord of the Rings there was no Tom Bombadil. Basically, movies that pretty much have to follow the source material, or there's no point in making it in the first place. You know, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, anything like that. These are probably the most creatively bankrupt, mostly because you don't have to think that much. I mean, did the guys writing Lord of the Rings really have that much of a difficult time trying to figure out where the story was going to go? Not really. They already knew what they were going after here. They already knew well before they even started writing the script. Okay, introduce Frodo Baggins at Bag Hill. You know, he gets the ring, goes to Elrond, and so on and so forth. These aren't terribly hard movies to write, except when you're doing something Lord of the Rings scale, where you have to spend a whole bunch of time planning and all that sort of thing. It's not like it's terribly difficult to figure out what you're going to do in a Harry Potter movie, or basically even writing it. As I said in another movie, I've practiced writing using other characters, and even sort of just kind of rewriting things in my own way, and it's not that difficult. It still takes a lot of time and effort, obviously, but it's not like it's the most difficult thing in the world. Second of all, these are the most horribly predictable movies pretty much you can make out there. Let's be honest here. Anyone who went to see Return of the King, a lot of them already read the books. Well, yeah, they already read the books. So when Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas jumped out of the southern shifts with the army of the dead at the Battle of Gondor, everyone knew it was coming. Sure, it's a great moment, and the music was great, and the special effects were pretty cool, but everyone knew it was coming. I'll give two more examples here. In the latest Harry Potter movie, Half-Blood Prince, I obviously haven't seen it yet, because I obviously don't know that much about what goes on in the movie, but everyone, except for maybe the soccer moms who are taking their kids and obviously don't read the books, but everyone going in there already knows Snape kills Dumbledore. I mean, it doesn't matter how good the acting is, the music direction could be perfect, the setting, the stage could be great, the special effects could be awesome, acting could be Oscar-worthy performances, but if you know it's coming, it loses all effectiveness in its own weird way. In that way, I think it's creatively bankrupt. Now, let's take something that is its completely own original work, and do the same general scene of Snape kills Dumbledore, or the idea of the big reveal. I am your father. One of the most famous scenes in movie history. Why is it one of the most famous scenes in movie history? Because no one saw it coming. It was great drama at the time, because no one expected it. No one had any preconceived notions about how the movie should be, because it's not based off of any, sort of previous work. I mean, did anyone honestly go into that theater in 1980 thinking, oh, I think Darth Vader may actually be Luke's father? No, I doubt anyone did, except for maybe a few crazy people, but they were probably already shunned before the movie even came out. But, everyone was probably like, oh my god, I didn't expect that. What a twist. I have to know what happens next. See, your own original works, when you're doing the same type of scene, when it's a more original work, it's usually done better. I mean, sure, Half-Blood Prince, sure, it's a good plot point, but everyone already knew it was coming because it was in the book. This wasn't. This will last a lot longer than the Harry Potter movies. Just throwing that out there. Sure, not every movie's going to be Empire Strikes Back, but you gotta at least try Hollywood. Gotta quit making the same exact movie over and over and over again. Especially with these sort of licensed movies. I mean, sure, great movie. I already knew it was coming. Hooray. And this brings me on my third type of licensed movie. The ones that have so little to do with their source material. So little with what they're talking about, it's blatantly obvious they're making the movie and slapping the license name on it to try and just make money. They're not trying at all, they just put in a whole bunch of action scenes, give the characters the correct names, and just let it go. Slap the title on it, ship it out, and off it goes. These are Dragon Ball Evolution, Batman and Robin, even the Transformers movies. And yes, I am putting the Transformers movies in this category because, one, I hate them. and two, they have so little to do with the old way Transformers was. At least the Batman and Robin and, Batman Forever at least had something to do with what their source material is based off of. Jeez, I almost didn't even know what Transformers was. Didn't even think it was a Transformers movie. But getting on to that, these are the movies that I really hate because they almost always suck. Actually, I can't think of a good one off the top of my head. I'm sure someone will, and I'm sure I will get flamed for that Transformers comment, but whatever. Anywho, these are the ones I hate the most, and they really need to go away because they are the most creatively bankrupt at all. Because, let's take Dragon Ball Evolution. Terrible movie. Mostly because it's trying to compare itself to Dragon Ball. A much better idea, and basically if you watch Dragon Ball Evolution, you know it has nothing to do with Dragon Ball whatsoever. Now let's give the characters their own unique names, their own original names, call it something different, and you get at least a slightly better movie. It's slightly better, and it's not as annoying to watch because it's not just obviously stealing a name from something popular to try and make it marketable. The same goes for a lot of other things. I mean, look at Transformers. I would have liked it better if it wasn't Transformers. I mean, sure, it still would have been a terrible Michael Bay movie. Mini rant within a rant time. If anyone thinks Michael Bay is actually a filmmaker, you're an idiot. He is not. He's a guy who gets paid way too much money to go to studio set, film some explosions in Megan Fox's ass, and calls it a day. When you make Uwe Boll look like a guy who knows what he's doing, you fail. But at least it wouldn't have been trying to compare itself to something that people actually liked a lot better in the past. I mean, seriously, guys. You can't come up with your own giant robot story. I mean, hell, there are dozens of giant mecha in Japan, so you can come up with your own damn thing. Quit stealing other people's ideas, slapping the title across it, and putting out a half-assed product, a desperate attempt to try and make money off of idiots who think it's actually great entertainment. And I'm going to get flagged for that too, but what can you do? Basically, what I'm trying to say here is Hollywood, a little creativity, please. Enough with, another superhero movie every summer. Enough with, the Christmas blockbuster that's based off of a book or a true story or some other junk like that. I mean, back in the day, really back in the day, hold on a sec. Back in the day, you could come up with stuff like this all the time. And they were good movies. Sure, they're cheap by today's standards, but back at the time, they were pretty original. And there are other movies going on like that. Nowadays, it's like, oh, we have to get a superhero movie out, or we have to get, a novel movie out, because it's, we can't write our own movies anymore. We have to have the author's idea, and then just sort of adapt it into a script. Some creativity would be nice, please. I mean, Hollywood, you wonder why people aren't going to the film movies anymore? Well, a lot of people aren't anymore. Because you're putting out the same old thing. I mean, I barely go to see any Hollywood blockbusters anymore because I can watch this and, watch this on opening day and get an experience that's pretty much the same thing. This may even be better. So, that's it. End of Nayrman's rants here.